Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment. Today's video we're going to be bringing to you soft-sided cabs from Orange Aftermarket. You'll see a selection of tractors behind me, whether it's a GR up to an L2501. We're going to do a little bit different than what we normally do. We're going to bring you all the pros and all the cons of what it is to have a soft-sided cab. So we're going to start first though talking about this GR and the soft-sided cab on it. So we'll start off here with this GR2120 on the soft-sided cab from Orange Aftermarket on it. We'll talk about just the pros. The very first one off the top is if you come in asking for a cab for it, we're going to be recommending just this cab. It's really the only one we found on the market that is actually form-fitting and designed for the GR lineup. The nice thing is with the GR lineup is it looked virtually the same on the same platform since the GR2000. So you're going on 15 years of virtually the same look of a unit. So it makes it nice and form-fitting and great that way. You'll see a nice hard top to it, and it is a nice rigid frame. Makes it nice and sturdy. After that, it's got easy to open doors, nice big grab handles there. You'll also see lots of visibility. You'll see extended windows on the front and side. Huge plus whenever you're in snow, it's always nice to be able to see, right? After that, it's the little things they thought of. Like I said, it is a form-fitting cab, so it is easy to install. It is a 3 to 4 hour install time, but it is like an IKEA setup. It just takes a while, not hard to do. After that is whenever you go to take off this unit for summer use, you haven't been drilling holes randomly into it. It is using pre-existing holes. Makes life, well, excellent for you because, again, once you do take it off, it only leaves a bracket on the back and I believe one around the steering wheel. Still be great usage for in the summer whenever you go to take it off. Again, like I said, 6 to 8 bolts, set it off to the side, use it for cutting grass, put it back on in the fall. After that, it's the little things they've thought of. Like I said, first, the visibility is fantastic. After that, you'll see a nice already pre-cut slit there for your manual rotation for your snowblower. After that, even the fuel cap there, there's an indent around it so you can take it on and off easy and not have to remove anything. Makes life easy for you. So yeah, so basically all around, great cab. One of the only ones on the market for the GR. Now let's move on and talk about the pros of the BX lineup. Kubota's changed their BX lineup over the years, whether it was the 50, 60, 70, or 80 series now. Again, the platform sizes have all varied and changed. Luckily, Orange Aftermarket has kept pace. If you're looking for an older one, they do make them for the 60 series, 70, 80, and so forth, and always changed. The one thing that is new to the lineup is for the BX23S. You'll see that it has a nice orange top compared to the blacks, which sets it aside. It also lets you rotate that seat around while the cab is on. You'll see that it expands out the back there to accommodate that. This is the very first one. You could not get a cab for your BX25. Yes, we did modify a lot of the 70 series cabs to work, but this is the first one where you just plug and play without having to make extra brackets to accommodate all those things. Some of the other positives of this cab is again a nice rigid frame with a hard top. Again, it is easy to bolt on, easy instructions, 3 to 4 hours install time, and you have it on. Easy to take on and off. After that, you'll see that it does actually sit below that roll bar. So if you're ever concerned about getting it in and out of your garage, if you can get it without that roll bar up, then you're good to go. It does sit a couple inches lower though to really help on that aspect. With lots of headroom, you don't have to see a sloped hood like you may see on like a Tektite hard cab. Some of the options you can get. At this point now you can get a couple different heaters. You can get the inline heater. It is expensive, but it will cook you out. Downside to that is it's going to be make that cab more permanent as you can't take that heater out. After that you can get that 12-volt heater. Again, it's not going to cook you out of there, but it is going to make things things a little bit more comfortable for yourself as the operator. So yeah, so those are some of the positives you'll see for the BX cabs. Now let's skip over to the BO1. Okay, so when talking about the cabs for the BO1 series, whether it be the 23 or 2601, both take the same cab, nice form-fitting, rigid frame, hard top. It's got basically all the same positives that I talked about on the 80 series are incorporated to the BO1 series cab. Again, lots of visibility, whether it be sides, front, or rear. Again, it does sit below that roll bar. It's basically if you can get that tractor in with a roll bar up in and out of your garage, then you're going to do it with the cab as well. After that, you can get the same sort of options available for it, whether it be a glass windshield, manual wiper, electric wiper. Then the heaters are available as well with that 12-volt. A little bit more harder to source is the inline heater, but it is there and available for you. Again, that first time you go to set up, it's 3 to 4 hours, then it stays together. That's 6 to 8 bolts, take it off, set it aside for your spring and summer months, put her back on in the fall, and away you go. And again, they do make some backdated ones, so if you're looking for like a B20 series cab, they are available. Again, at this size of tractor for the B01, we get lots of people looking for this frame size and a cost-effective cab. There is nothing available from Kubota, so this is what you're kind of left with, is going aftermarket, and this is again a soft-sided cab, so it is the most cost-effective to keep you nice and warm and out of the weather, as opposed to jumping up to like an LX full-blown cab. So let's now talk about the L2501 and the cabs available for it. So last but not least, in the Orange Aftermarket lineup is the L2501 cab. Some of the positives you're going to run into are virtually the same as what we talked about on the one for the BX or the B01, and stays the same on this one. Some of the added bonuses you'll see is it comes standard with a glass windshield and that electric wiper. It does increase the install time if you're going to be doing it yourself, but still very easily done. You'll see all the hardware does come with it. Follow the instructions and you can accomplish it on a Saturday afternoon. Again, rigid frame, hard top, sits below that roll bar, great visibility. One thing to know is this was the first cab available for the L01 lineup, so it does fit your 25, 33, and 39s. You have to modify it to fit some of the older economy Ls. It wasn't just a standard fit for it. So that's kind of all the added things I have to say about the L01 lineup for the positives on the cab. So now let's jump back to the GRs and start talking about some of the negatives of it for that cab. So starting with the GR and the negatives on it, for this soft-sided cab from Orange Aftermarket, not too many negatives. Basically, we're going to be nitpicking here, and they kind of are, some of the flaws are through the lineup here. So again, one of the major ones is whenever it's windy out, these soft-sided cabs don't like wind. What's one of the major problems is this door. You are able to open it right up. So if you catch the wind, it can knock against your machine and flex pretty hard. Again, whenever you are transporting these things from your home to the dealer or to another location, make sure you are wrapping it in plastic. Again, you don't do that, you may not have a cab whenever you arrive at your location. Again, even though it is a rigid frame and everything, 120 down the highway does a lot of funny things. After that, whenever you do transport it a few times, things may come out of adjustment. It may require a little bit of work to get it back in adjustment to opening and closing the doors. Again, we have had it where nothing gets bent, just a matter of things needing to be tightened again or put back in its proper place, so you can get open and close those doors relatively easy. Again, even like I said, nitpicking is whenever you get around to that fuel area, again, they didn't make that opening all that large to get your hand in there and get that off, but at least they thought of it, so you don't have to disassemble the cab to get in there. So great cab for the money. You're going to really enjoy it. It is one of the few out there for the GR lineup. So let's skip over to talking about the BX cab. Starting with the BX cab and the negatives for it. Maybe you guys can see it right away, because it's pretty glaring, is I can turn that seat around in there, lots of room. I still can't operate my backhoe. You know, there is no way to get in from out there, roll this up or anything. It's still there. Again, pretty big flaw. Great that they made extra room. Not all that important because I still can't operate my backhoe. After that, you'll see that it is a one piece right here. You know, I have to, if you're putting a manual rotate snowblower on the back here, you will have to cut a hole or have it modified at the dealership to incorporate that to make it functional. And that also applies for the front. Again, whenever you get to the front snowblower and you want manual rotation, again, it has to be modified to incorporate that so that it fits through and that you can turn it. After that, it was great that they incorporated the visibility right down so that you can see your handles for taking your loader on and off. Again, they didn't Velcro them in or anything, so you still can't reach those handles. It's great that I can see them, but I still can't touch them. So those are some of the glaring mistakes or holes in the soft-sided cabs for the BX. Now let's have the same discussion on the B01s. Some of the same mistakes that was made on the BX is made on the 01. One of the biggest issues you'll see out front here is it doesn't have the double visibility. It cuts off here, still leaves quite a bit that would be great to have, especially whenever you have a front snowblower there. The more you can see, the better it is. Again, after that, it's great that they have the visibility pockets right here to see what's going on with your front loader, but unfortunately I can't actually touch them from inside that cab. I can't remove it. There isn't Velcro there. I still have to get out to remove that loader. Not a big deal, but it can be for some. After that, whenever you're dealing out front here is again manual rotation for that front snowblower. It has to be modified to get it to run through and into the cab so that you can turn your snowblower left to right. After that, if you're going to get the inline heater, whether it be for the B01 or the BX, and we discovered that this year, is the inline heater is taking up the same spot as that manual rotation, so you have to go with hydraulic rotate. So one thing to know is, if you get one of these cabs and inline heater, you need hydraulic rotation for that front snowblower. After that, whenever we move out to the width of the machine, now you'll see that it is outside the roll bar, not by much, and whether that's a pro or a con, we were having that discussion, but it does make it a little bit more bulky, which is good and bad, as it does give you a little bit more leg room and arm room. So just be mindful of that whenever choosing it. And then last but not least is the other glaring mistake is, we have this nice inverted blower on display with a manual rotation. Once it's sold as a package like this, we will have to modify it to reach that snowblower, as you cannot do it right from Orange Aftermarket. It has to be modified to incorporate that. So yeah, so a few glaring omissions for the Canadian market whenever it comes to these cabs. So now let's talk about the yellow one. So starting at the front here, it is a neat feature that should be on all the other ones, and I have no idea why it is on the L2501 here, but it's this nice Velcro flap. It should be on the 2301, and it should be on the BX2380 cab, front and rear, so you incorporate those snowblowers. So they do have the capabilities, just didn't bother putting it on. And even worse is it's needlessly on the front where it should be is on the rear, so that I can have that manual rotate on the snowblower, and there is none there. So it's great, but it's not where it should be. After that, one thing to know is it is significantly wider than your rear roll bar. Again, it gives you lots more space in there, but it is something to know as it makes a little bit bulkier appearance to it. One thing to mention about the whole lineup is whenever you put a soft-sided cab on, it is going to make it louder in there. We do have the tests, as you've seen in some of our previous videos. It does make it significantly louder, whether it's on a GR up to the L2501. So that brings to the end of today's video. So if you are in the market for one, hopefully this video helped you. If you did enjoy today's video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Thank you.